at the third march. We planned it very, very carefully. It was, and we didn't know exactly how this march would go on under Martin Luther King, but we knew it was to be a silent march, silent. There were a group of us, women, who wanted to go, my friends, people that I knew who felt strongly about the right of all peoples. You know, I've spoken about that. And so and nobody or much of the country or the ruling people of the country didn't exactly respect women and their power to be able to organize something that might be successful. So a group of us women decided to silently, quietly plan that we would participate in the March on Washington, Third March. And we met secretly, and as I say, nobody cared about women, so you could have a coffee club or some women's quote thing that women could do things that would not be suspicious. And I can't remember exactly how we did it. We met in small groups, us women, small groups, and we planned it. We realized we could not make a big noise about it or talk about it. And so we decided to meet together in different small groups to plan it. We knew the date that the March on Washington was to happen. And when we would see each other, we'd giggle and we'd go like this. I remember, look at each other. We have a secret. We don't talk about it. And so we did exactly that. And we then, in small groups, we organized to meet each other in different places. And like we were going on a picnic, you know, some women planning a picnic, they're getting up early, they're doing a fancy picnic. And we joined each other. I mean, this kind of signal, holding our fingers to our lips and giggling and looking at each other. I will never forget that because we had a big plot and plan, and mere women can't do that, of course. Okay, to make it short, we took buses, and again, different places, and it escapes me how we did it, but we took buses, and then we got up like at 3 a.m., and the buses picked us up again, you know, the same bus in different places, or similar buses, that is. And we drove to Washington in silence, in great silence, but giggling, just having a good time. We didn't know what to expect. We did not know would the same thing happen, that we would be aborted, stopped somewhere. We were frightened, but there was a bigger cause. And that bigger cause really, really spurred us on. And we got to Washington. I remember this very well. It was very early in the morning, probably about 6, I don't remember the time, probably about 6 a.m. Or possibly a little later. And Washington, D.C. was empty. It was, and we expected there'd be a big crowd. We did not know And we were disappointed. Had we gone and really nothing was going to happen, we would not we would not succeed in this, and that just, we didn't know. Anyway, we got there, and we drove to the place where we were supposed to meet, and that too, and I can't remember the name of the vast empty space. And we got there, no people, or very few. And then we waited, and always silent. Silence was the word, because we knew if the thugs, again, those who did not want us to succeed in this march, to make sure that people of color would have rights just as white people, or whatever name it, had, then it would have been a failure, this thing. But as we got to the assembly place, very slowly buses arrived. And again, such silence I was going to say, such silence you have never heard. But exactly, it was that. There was no speaking, there was nothing, because each individual group that was arriving knew that silence had to be kept, because otherwise, I'm sorry, I'm making this longer than I have much to do. Otherwise, the thugs would have again come, hit us on the head, and stopped us. So that this finger to our mouth was what every group in one way or another practiced. But suddenly, all in silence, this big vast place began to fill up. Different groups from different places, different buses coming. Some, I guess, came by automobile. If there were, I can't remember, to tell you the truth. There were automobiles, but they were rare, I believe. You can check that out. You say, no, you may not remember better than I do. She shook her head, no, I don't know. Anyway, and the place filled up, and there was a vast, vast crowd, all in silence. You did not hear a word, not a word. It was the most remarkable thing. And our group kept grinning at each other at the success that seemed to be ensuing. It was really, it was such a triumphant feeling, but then much more triumphant, magnificent, was Dr. Martin Luther King's speech. All I recall at this moment, I've had a concussion, various things happening to me since, as all of us have since those years. Anyway, not the concussion, but the other stuff. Anyway, we began to hear, I have a dream. I have a dream that one day, and I can't repeat the words right now, little children, and I will let you guys, whoever researched it, go on from there. It was the most magnificent, the most eloquent speech that I have had ever heard. Such eloquence and beauty of diction and just magnificent. I can't find words right now. This is, from here on, I'll let other people talk about the entire, the results or what happened. The one thing I do remember, or rather the one thing I wanted, well, that he was shot. Should I talk?
Yes, go ahead.
what I remember, in spite of, or especially probably because he, Dr. Martin Luther King, had become such a